What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another episode of Player Ratings. Ryan Mason's first game in charge yesterday as interim manager, the youngest manager ever to manage in the Premier League, as he got off to a winning start. So the youngest manager ever to grab a win in the Premier League as well. The youngest winning Premier League manager, 2-1 against Southampton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last night.
And he did something in his first game Arteta hasn't done in 16 months.
Well, there you go. There you go. Trust the process. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. The player rating. Start off with Hugo Lloris. Gave him an 8.
Yeah, really great performance by Hugo, especially in the first half where he really kept us in the game. I know we were 1-0 down, but if it wasn't for Hugo, it could easily have been a 2 or 3. He made astounding saves from Shea Adams in the first half, and I think it was Jan Bednarek and from Kyle Walker-Peters as well, rushing out to stop him getting a run in on goal. So very, very vital performance and vital saves from Hugo. And look, he's come into form recently as well. It's not his first good performance of late, so maybe he's put his bad form behind him, I hope.
Yeah, that double save was brilliant.
Yeah, great double save. It really was unbelievable. In the second half, I wasn't troubled so much, but I thought in the first half he really kept the score down and allowed us a platform to get back in the game.
Moving on to Serge Aurier, he gets a 5.
Yeah, it wasn't. He wasn't awful. He wasn't awful, but he did struggle quite a bit against Teller on that right hand side. I thought Teller gave him a lot of trouble, and he was pinned back quite a bit. He got forward only on a couple of occasions. There was one right at the end of the first half where he put a really good ball into the box, and Son can convert the chance. But other than that, he didn't get forward too much, and it wasn't his best display. But overall, he wasn't awful either. I think he contributed okay, but he did struggle at times.
And moving on to Toby Alderweireld, we gave him a 7.
Yeah, he was really good, I thought, Toby. Again, I thought when he was helped a lot when Danny Ings went off the pitch, and he wasn't troubled as much. He didn't have much to think about, but his switches of play to Regulon were on point every single time. I thought he was trying to release Son as well in behind the Southampton defence on numerous occasions, a couple of times nearly coming off as well. And I thought defensively he was pretty sound, so I'm pretty happy with Toby.
And moving on to his centre-back partner, Eric Dier, we gave him a 7 as well.
Yeah, I thought Eric Dier was a solid, played on the left-hand side of the defence, partnering Toby, and I thought they complemented each other pretty well. Dier barely put a foot wrong all game. His passing as well was pretty decent, so I think it was a decent display by Dier, step in the right direction.
Moving on to the last in defence, Sergio Regulon. Very good performance. We gave him an 8.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He was one of his best performances in a while. I really thought that he was real, especially his attacking threat was really, really strong. I thought he dealt with defensively everything that came at him. He wasn't caught out at all. And I thought going forward, he was a thorn in the Southampton side time after time again. And he was linking up really well with Sonny as well on that left-hand side. And he was robbed of an assist because of the own goal, but then because of the VAR, but then he won the penalty. He was the one who won the penalty on the edge of the box, and he got that assist back in a way. And I thought time and time again he was really troubling those Southampton Kyle Walker-Peters.
Yeah, and it's great for him to get back into good form, because his form in the last 2 months or so has been really bad. So
yeah, it was
great to see him back at it. Let's move on to Pierre-Emerick, playing against his old club, obviously in Southampton. Gave him a 7.
Yeah, another player I felt returning to form was Pierre-Emerick. I thought again he was improving. I thought his passing was a lot better this time than it was maybe for the past few weeks. It was a bit more on point, and I was pretty happy with his performance. And I thought in the second half as well, he took a lot more responsibility on the ball and was much more at the forefront of starting attacking moves. And his long passing to Regulon was pretty on point as well. So I thought he competed well in the centre. I thought in the first half he was getting outnumbered by Ward-Prowse and by I can't remember who else was in the centre, but I thought he dealt with it really well in the second half and contributed to us dominating.
All right, and his partner in the middle, or one of his partners in the middle, was Tanguy Ndombele. We're going to give him a 6.
Yeah, not his best display. He's played better. I thought for the goal that got disallowed, he was a part of that move, and he was a strong part of that move. But throughout the game, he didn't seem at his best, especially off the ball. He kept getting bypassed, and I thought he was okay. But I got the feeling like he was tiring a lot quicker than he had been recently. So it wasn't his best play from Tanguy, but it wasn't awful either. So we gave him a 6.
And the third man in the middle there in a 4-3-3 formation last night was Giovanni Lo Celso, and we're going to give him a 7.
Yeah. He had a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde performance, but when he was good, he was really good. But when he was bad, he was hanging onto the ball too long, and he was getting crowded out and losing possession too easily. But I thought by and large he was really positive. I thought he was also off the ball. He was pretty strong as well, so I'm giving him credit for that. And I think for the goal that got disallowed, he played a brilliant through ball to Regulon, which obviously came to nothing. But I thought Lo Celso was picking up pockets of space, which Southampton were finding it hard to deal with. And I thought in and around the penalty box, he was being creative, and I think his performances are improving, but I think people will point to the moments he got caught on the ball and say he had a bad game, but I actually think in general he was pretty good.
Yeah, and it also points out that he has only just come back from injury, hasn't pulled up much trees since he has returned, but this is definitely, would you say, definitely a performance step in the right direction?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's improving, and I think he's going to start the cup final.
All right, and let's move on to Heung-min Son. We gave him an 8.
Yeah. Look, probably the sharpest he's looked for a while, Heung-min Son. Really great finish for the goal, which got disallowed. First time sweeping finish into the corner. Obviously got his moment with the penalty spot, which I think he deserved throughout the game. I thought on the left-hand side, in the first half, he was a bit anonymous and he was crowded out many times by about 3 or 4 Southampton players. But once they started to tire, once he got a bit more space to play in, he really started linking up well with Regulon, and he was really hard to deal with from the Southampton players. They were trying to get near him, but he kept dribbling away or holding them off, and he was pretty good, and I think he deserved his goal. He had a good chance in the first half on the volley, which he couldn't take, but other than that, I thought in general it was a better display from Sonny, who we thought was going to start up front, but was actually the next guy who started up front.
Yeah, but in terms of Sonny, do you reckon he looked a lot more energetic and a lot more, better just in terms of recent weeks because he hasn't had too much defending to do?
I think he was tracking back quite well, so I wouldn't say that. I just think he looked a bit sharper yesterday than he had recently. I think he was kind of rotating with Lucas in a bit more fluid system on the front line, and I think it kind of suited him.
All right, which moves us on to Lucas Mora. We gave him a 6.
Yeah, he was okay. He had a few dribbles here and there, and he had a really good chance at the end of the first half, which he blazed over the bar, unfortunately. Won a few free kicks, didn't really create too many problems for Southampton, and obviously for the Bale's goal, he had that shot blocked, which fell to Bale, who scored. So I think he was involved, but he wasn't as good as the other guys in the forward line.
And last of the starting 11 is Gareth Bell, and we gave him an 8. I know it says a 9 on there.
No, we gave him a 9.
Oh, we're giving him a 9.
Change it to a 9, yeah.
All right, well, we've changed it for a 9. Gareth Bell gets a 9.
Yeah, I think he was definitely our best player looking back at it, and I think he was definitely our most creative player, who was a complete thorn in the side of Southampton. They didn't know how to deal with him. A couple of times he burned Kyle Walker-Peters for pace and put in a few crosses, which caused a bit of havoc in the Southampton back line. There were a few moments where he, from 25 yards, he cut inside and had a shot which didn't go in, but it looked like the Bale of old. And then obviously his goal, caressing it into the far corner.
What
so
a finish.
Great finish.
What a
really
finish.
Hard angle as well.
Yeah.
And to dink that into the far corner from the angle with a few defenders in his way was harder than it looked. He made it look easier than it was. And it was a great finish from Bell. And it was great, again, for him to get a start and come back into form. And it was just his dribbling, his passing, and a few shooting opportunities as well. He looked really sharp. So really great. Bell was performing well. Was
he having a few digs at Jose in his post-match interview?
Yeah, potentially, with what he was saying we need to be more on the front foot, maybe a slight dig at Jose. But you know, he was also tracking back and making tackles as well, which was also very impressive. So he was working hard for the team, and it was a really good display from Bale. And he was taken off early-ish, on like 79 minutes or so, or 83 minutes, but it wasn't to do with how bad he was doing. It was just, I think, giving him a well-earned rest.
Which moves us on to the substitutes. Harry Winks came on for Tanguy Ndombele with 17 minutes to go. We give him a 7. Now look at the smile on Simeon's face.
Come on, Winksy. I thought it was a great cameo from him. I know it's full of zeros, those stats, but I think it was a great cameo. He came on for 17 minutes, helped regain control of the midfield.
Changed the game, apparently.
I don't know if he changed the game, but he helped sustain the momentum we were getting, because Ndombele was clearly tiring and Southampton were getting back into the game a bit. And then once Wink came on, he helped regain control. So I was very happy with his display. He looked confident, he looked sharp, and his passing seemed crisp as well. So I think it was a good cameo from Winksy, and hopefully more of that.
The last two subs we're not going to give a rating for because they weren't on for long enough, but Lamela came on for Giovanni Lo Celso with 11 minutes to go. Bergwijn came on for Bale with 7 minutes to go. But Ryan Mason, first game in charge, youngest manager in the Premier League. We're going to give him an 8.
Yeah. Ryan Mason, I think, did really well with his team selection, attacking formation, set the tone really well. I thought the first half didn't go our way, but I think he reacted well in the second half. Good. The team came out and wanted to play more patient and got their attacking game going, and I was really happy with that. And I think the changes he made really worked, each and every one of them. So you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit for turning around when we're losing and getting those 3 points. And I think he's done a great job for his first game. And I'm proud of him. I'm very happy for him. I know how much this club means to him, so I'm really happy that he's got the 3 points on his first day on the job. And I think he managed the team really well at the end of the day. And even though he's managing players like Bell, who are older than him, he seemed to be getting the best out of him. So that was really good. And without Harry Kane as well, which notoriously Mourinho has struggled with. But Mason, in his first game, didn't have Kane, and I thought we looked really good.
All right, so a very positive day yesterday for Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham 2, Southampton 1. Ryan Mason will lead us into a Wembley Cup final this weekend in his second game in charge in management. Unbelievable story, isn't it? Especially for what happened with him in his career, near-death experience from on the pitch with a collision of heads. I mean, Tottenham boy through and through as well. It's an amazing story for Ryan, and we wish him the best of luck. But that is our player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below if you have anything regarding these player ratings. Let me know your player ratings in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.